You got the news at 2:47 in the afternoon. An email, 2 lines. The kind of email you read 3 times to make sure you understood it correctly. You got it. The promotion, the project, the thing you've been working toward for longer than you want to admit. You put your phone face down on the desk. You sat with it for a moment, and then, before you called anyone, before you told anyone, before you even fully processed what it meant, you opened the app. Not with a plan, just with a feeling. The feeling of deserving something, of having earned something, of a day that finally went the way you needed it to go and wanting to mark it with more than just a feeling. You scrolled slowly, not looking for anything specific, just looking for something that felt like the size of what just happened. You found it. You always find it. Sometimes it's something to wear, something that fits the version of you who just got the good news. Sometimes it's something for your home, a candle, a print, something that will sit somewhere and remind you of this day. This time it was a bag, not the most expensive thing, not unreasonable, just right. The kind of thing that feels like a reward you can hold. You added it to cart. You pressed confirm. And for a few minutes, the good news and the purchase sat together in your chest and felt like one thing, like proof. The bag arrived 4 days later. It was good. Exactly what it looked like in the photos. You used it that week. Someone noticed it. You told them you just treated yourself. You didn't say why, but you knew why. And that felt good too. By the following month, it was just a bag. And the promotion, the actual thing, the raise, the new title, the thing you worked for, was already becoming the new normal, already becoming the baseline, already becoming the thing you'd have to work past to get to the next thing. And the bag was on the chair. Here's what happened in that moment. The good news arrived and it carried with it something your brain needed to do. Mark it. Name it. Make it real in a way that a feeling alone couldn't quite do. That instinct is not wrong. Celebrations are real. Milestones are real. The need to do something when something good happens, that's not frivolous. That's human. But somewhere along the way, marking the moment became the same thing as buying something. The two got linked so quietly, you didn't notice them become one action. Good news. App, confirm, like a reflex. Think about how many times this reflex has fired. The good grade, the finished project, the hard week that finally ended, the difficult conversation that went better than you expected, the number on the scale after 3 weeks of trying, the day you finally sent the thing you'd been putting off for months. Each one had a purchase attached. Not always a big one. Sometimes $30, sometimes $60, sometimes just something small that felt like a physical version of the good feeling. But there was almost always something. Because somewhere in the pattern of your life, spending became the language you used to talk to yourself about things that matter. Good things, hard things, sad things, proud things. All of them have a price tag attached now. And the price tags are so small individually that you've never added them up. Let's add them up. Think about the last 12 months, the moments that called for something, the wins, the milestones, the days that felt like they deserved more than just continuing. How many of those moments had a purchase? If it was once a month, 12 times. At $50 average, that's $600 a year in celebrations. If it was twice a month, $1,200. And here's the part that makes the number complicated. A portion of those celebrations went on a credit card. Because when the good news arrives, you're not thinking about the statement date. You're thinking about the feeling. And the feeling doesn't wait. So the celebration happened in April. The payment happened in May. With interest if you carried the balance. Which means you paid more for the celebration than it cost. And you paid for it after the feeling was already gone. There's something else underneath this. The celebration spending, the reward purchasing, it does something specific that regular spending doesn't do. It makes the achievement feel more real. Because an achievement that lives only inside you, that only you know the weight of, can feel surprisingly thin, surprisingly easy to minimize, surprisingly hard to hold on to. But an achievement with an object attached to it, something you can see, carry, wear, that feels solid. That feels like evidence. And so you buy the evidence. Not because the achievement wasn't real, because you needed something to hold while you believed in it. There is one thing you can do: not stopping celebrations, not deciding you don't deserve things. One thing. When the good news arrives, wait 24 hours before you buy anything. Not to deny the feeling, to let it exist on its own first, because the feeling of having done something real, of having earned something, achieved something, survived something, that feeling is the actual reward. And it's the only reward that doesn't arrive 4 days later in a box. The 24 hours isn't punishment. It's just enough time to feel the thing before you replace it with an object. And sometimes, after 24 hours, you still want the bag. You still want to mark it with something, and you buy it. But from a full place, not a place that needed the purchase to complete the feeling. And sometimes, after 24 hours, you realize the feeling was already enough. And you save the $95 for something that isn't a reflex. I know what happens when you try this. The good news will arrive. The feeling will arrive with it. And the 24 hours will feel like withholding something you earned. Because you did earn it. That's the real thing. But ask yourself, the last thing you bought to celebrate, does it still feel like a celebration when you look at it? Or does it just feel like a thing? Because if the object held the feeling, it would still be holding it. The feeling left. The object stayed. And next time the good news comes, the object won't be enough either. The feeling was always the point. You just needed permission to let it be enough on its own. 6 months from now, 2 versions. In the first one, the reflex keeps firing the same way. Good news, app, confirm. Each celebration costs something. Some of those costs go on a card. Some of those cards carry a balance. And the achievements, the real ones, the ones you worked for, live mostly in a collection of things you bought in their honor. Things that are now just things, while the feeling that made them matter has long since moved on. In the second one, you started waiting 24 hours. Not always perfectly, but enough. Some celebrations stayed as feelings and you let them. Some became purchases but chosen ones. Slow ones, real ones, not reflexes. And the achievements started feeling more like yours. Not because you stopped marking them, but because you stopped needing to buy the proof that they happened. The promotion was real. You were always enough evidence of that. One question before you go. Think about the last thing you bought to celebrate something. Do you remember what it was? Do you remember the thing you were celebrating? Tell me in the comments. Because I think sometimes the purchase outlasts the memory of what it was for. And I think that says everything about where the real value was. If this felt like a pattern you recognized, hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, this is the channel where the quiet spending finally gets a name. See you in the next one.